morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name is Ross, and as always told, out of Voice Radio. So today, we need to be taking a look at a new set that's just gone and been revealed in Japan. Shout out to the lovely Primal Lugia, he of PokeGuardian.com, for sharing the news and the image. We now have confirmation of Sword and Shield 2A, Explosive Walker. And would you believe it, ladies and gentlemen, that looks an awful lot like Gigantamax Centiskorch. Now, I don't think I've made a particular secret on this channel of my love for Centiskorch. I certainly have tried not to. I adore Centiskorch. It's so cool. But, well, there's two reasons, right? Firstly, in my playthrough of Pokemon Sword when I first went through the game, Centiskorch was very much on my team. Secondly, the Centiskorch from Sword and Shield, that is the one that lets you mill cards. Well, for every fire energy attached to your Centiskorch, you get to discard one card from the top of your opponent's deck. I am in love with that Centiskorch. We've not yet had a Gigantamax Centiskorch, but oh look, it very much looks like we're going to be getting one right now. And by right now, I mean on the 24th of April. Boo! But at least we know it's coming, ladies and gentlemen. At least we know it's coming. What do we know about it? Precious little, unfortunately. We know that it's coming out on the 24th of April. We know that it is officially Sword and Shield 2A. And we know that it features 70 cards plus question mark. Remember, question mark refers to the secret rares. But also, please remember, and I did see a bunch of people making this mistake when we were looking at Sword and Shield and trying to figure out what was in Japan and what was over here. Japan counts secret rares differently to how we do. There are cards like Full Art Supporters that we don't count as secret rares, that Japan does. But this is largely in line with what we're expecting. I mean, VMAX Rising is the Sword and Shield 1A set, which incidentally is coming out on Friday, and that also features 70 cards plus question mark. So it very much is in the line of a mini set. Now, we say mini set, but of course it isn't even actually that mini, because the next main set we're getting is Sword and Shield 2 Rebellion Crash, and that is going to feature 96 cards plus question mark, and that is coming out on the 6th of March. Now, one of the things that's a little bit weird about this release date, it's actually being released a bit too early. You see, this is actually the May set. Yeah, it's the May set. You see, over in Japan at the moment, they're doing main set, mini set, break. Or it's actually main set, break, mini set. So, in Japan, Friday the 7th of February, this Friday, Sword and Shield 1A. I keep saying Sun and Moon instead of Sword and Shield. I've just edited one out. If it is here, I do apologise. I'm only meaning Sword and Shield. They're too similar and it's annoying. So, VMAX Rising is our February set. Sword and Shield 2 is Rebellion Crash. That is coming out on March the 6th. That is our March set. There is not supposed to be an April set. April's supposed to be a month off. And then Sword and Shield 2A is supposed to be our May set. So why is it coming out on the 24th of April? Very simply, Golden Week. You see, in Japan, we've got Golden Week starting on the 29th of April, and it's this big week of festivities and such in Japan. If you've played the Persona games, you'll know what we're talking about. Or if you've been to Japan, have Japanese friends, know much about Japanese culture, etc. But I like to shout out the Persona games. Those games are amazing. So what they're basically doing is dropping this set in time for Golden Week so that, well, look, it's a week where people are running around celebrating with money to spend, etc. It makes sense to release a new exciting set of cards right before people are running around spending money, rather than right after people are running around spending money. That's just a little bit sensible and logical. It is still essentially our May set. So we would then expect Sword and Shield 3 to be the June set over in Japan. We would then expect no set in July before Sword and Shield 3A launches in August. When we had Sun and Moon, the one time I will refer to Sun and Moon in this video, Japan was doing main set, mini set, mini set, main set, mini set, mini set with no break in sight. Here it is, well, it should be main set, mini set, break, but it's actually not. It's a bit more confusing. It's main set, break, mini set, main set, break, mini set. So, that's what we know, and that's why it's coming out a little bit faster than it should. Now, the only other piece of information we've got is that it is going to feature Gigantamax Centiskorch, which means it is also going to be featuring Centiskorch V. That is, it's a given, quite frankly. It has to, otherwise we can't have the VMAX. Now, Centiskorch is actually a fire bug Pokemon, so there is an outside chance here that we do get a grass version. It is overwhelmingly likely to be a fire version, which means you're going to have access to things like Welder to accelerate energy, and then the usual Fire Crystal, Fiery Flint, Giant Half combination to get your energy out. And then you're going to be hitting weakness on, well, all of those grass Pokemon. Rillaboom! We talked about Rillaboom a bit recently. You're totally hitting weakness on Rillaboom. So the point is, it's a great time to be a fire Pokemon, and we've seen a couple of fire VMAXs at the moment. We've seen Torkoal V, which is great, and genuinely is like a legit deck doing really well over in Japan. And we've also seen Victini V. Now, Victini V is a weird one. It's not an every deck kind of Pokemon. What it does is, for 2 fire energy, or 1 welder, you get to do 30 damage for each energy attached to both active Pokemon. So I think it should be a one-of in every fire deck, whereby you wait until your opponent pops a bunch of energy on, then you smash. Although I'm actually doing a disservice, because we've actually seen Cinderace V as well. Cinderace V is fine. It's not particularly exciting. It is pretty much the very definition of fine. Free retreat if there's a stadium in play. 2 fire, 1 colorless, 140 damage. It's not particularly exciting. There is actually a Cinderace VMAX that we have seen as well, though this has only been revealed in Japan. 3 energy, 170 plus burn. 2 energy, 30 damage, plus as much damage as this Pokemon received from attacks during your opponent's last turn. I actually kind of like Cinderace VMAX. I can kind of get on board with that. So it's not like we're short of fire Pokemon V at the moment. There's a few of them running around, and they get a bunch of advantages. I'm happy to have another. So, we've kind of hinted at it as we go through, but as we've got a couple minutes left at the end of this video, let's just go through the release date, because there's actually something I've not mentioned yet. So, what we have is this Friday the 7th of February, we are getting VMAX Rising. We've already seen every card from that. I've analysed every card from that set. You can find all those videos on this channel. A month later, we've got Sword and Shield 2 Rebellion Crash, which is coming out on March the 6th. That is the next main set. We don't know a huge amount about that, if I'm honest with you. We've really not seen very much at all. We know that the cover Pokemon is Toxtricity. We know that there is a Toxtricity V coming, but there is also a promo one coming, so we don't actually know if it's going to be or not the same one in the set. I imagine it probably will, but we've not had actual confirmation. Toxtricity V, I'm afraid I'm not a particularly big fan of, though I have done a video about it. I'll link it in the description. We have also received a couple other bits of information. We know there's a new Gusting card coming. We know there is a really good new Pokemon V with an ability, presumably a draw ability, but that's not confirmed. And we know we're getting a Psychic-type Dragapult V. That has all been confirmed. And although there's no set then for over a month, almost 2 months, we are getting Charizard and Grimmsnarl VMAX starter decks coming out on the 27th of March. We've not seen these cards yet, we don't know too much about them, but like the V decks that we got previously had exclusive cards in these as well, including Charizard V and VMAX, and Grimmsnarl V and VMAX. So although there's no set between the 6th of March and the 24th of April, there will at least be some new cards to keep us rolling. And then on the 24th of April, we get this new set, Sword and Shield 2A, that is to say, Explosive Walker. I'm really hoping that this Centiskorch does milling just like his little brother in the Sword and Shield base set, but I suppose we're going to have to wait and see. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen, that's the new set, that's what we know, that's what we've been able to deduce. Lots of fun things, lots of excitement. But I'd like to know how excited you are. So let me know in the comment section, go nuts, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WasiPlays, where we talk about a whole bunch of games that don't have Pokemon in, but are still pretty gosh darned awesome. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.